Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, August 30th. Coming to you live from Seoul, I'm Kim Mo-gen. Before we begin, these are the stories we're following at the top of the hour. South Korea reports more than 1,400 new cases Monday, dropping slightly due to fewer tests over the weekend. However, the nation has reported more than 1,000 daily new COVID-19 cases for nearly 2 months. The Wall Street Journal reports that North Korea appears to have resumed operation of its plutonium-producing reactor at Yongbyon, a move that could enable the reclusive country to expand its nuclear weapons arsenal. And amid chaos in Afghanistan, a rocket has slammed into a neighborhood near the Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul, killing a child. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack yet. Our top story this morning, North Korea appears to have restarted its sole plutonium-producing reactor, a move that could enable the regime to expand its arsenal of nuclear weapons. If confirmed, it would be the first time it has been rebooted in 2.5 years. For more, we have our North Korean affairs correspondent, Kim Dami, on the line for us. Dami, give us the details.
Mo-gen, it's believed that North Korea has restarted operations at its Yongbyon nuclear reactor that produces plutonium, a key material used in the production of nuclear bombs. Based on a report released by the IAEA, there have been indications since early last month, including the discharge of cooling water, which is consistent with the operation of a reactor. The Yongbyon reactor appeared to have been inactive from December 2018 until the beginning of July this year. The report added that signs the reactor is now being operated coincide with indications that Pyongyang is also using a nearby lab to separate the plutonium from spent fuel rods previously removed from the reactor. The International Atomic Energy Agency called the latest developments, quote, deeply troubling and a clear violation of U.S. Security Council resolutions on the North. The regime's move, if confirmed, creates yet another foreign policy headache for the Biden administration. On top of it, the widely criticized handling of the U.S. military withdrawal from Afghanistan and the deadlock on restoring the 2015 Iran nuclear deal. During a visit to Seoul last week, the U.S. Special Representative for North Korea, Sung Kim, stressed Washington has no hostile intent toward the North and urged the regime to return to dialogue. The Yongbyon reactor has been regarded as the crown jewel of North Korea's nuclear weapons program. Constructed in 1979, it supplied the plutonium and research facilities needed for the North to test its first atomic bomb in 2006. That's all I have. Back to you again.
Thank you for the updates, Tami. We appreciate it. Now, South Korea's chief nuclear envoy, No Kyu-duk, has vowed to find ways to provide humanitarian aid to North Korea during his 4-day stay in the U.S. No arrived in Washington Sunday, telling reporters that he hopes progress can be made to restart the Korean peace process. However, he noted that inter-Korean cooperation is only possible with Pyongyang's consent. No also said Washington is prioritizing talks with North Korea as well, citing his U.S. counterpart Sung Kim's recent visit to Seoul. The South Korean envoy will be meeting officials from the State Department and White House National Security Council through September 1st. Beginning today, South Korea, the U.S., and the U.K. will hold joint training in the East Sea. The three nations will take part in exercises in preparation for future disaster relief missions until Wednesday. Chang Tae-hyun reports.
The UK's HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier and its escort ships will take part in combined training with the South Korean Navy in the East Sea starting Monday. Its purpose is to prepare for humanitarian disaster relief missions and will take place until Wednesday. The joint training includes U.S. vessels, some U.S. stealth aircraft, and large transport ships from the South Korean Navy, such as the Dokdo-class amphibious assault ship. So it's a combined training of 3 countries, the UK, the US, and Korea. The UK had initially planned for its carrier to enter the port in the southeastern city of Busan, but it has been called off due to COVID-19 cases aboard the strike group vessels and the rising caseload in Korea. In the meantime, it's yet to be seen how North Korea will react to this training. It criticized the South once again on Sunday for conducting joint military training with the US earlier this month and vowed to strengthen its absolute deterrence to cope with US military threats. And the North has even halted its daily hotline communication with the South since August 10th, which had previously been reconnected after 13 months to show their opposition against the joint training. Chang Tae-hyun, Arirang News.
And over in Afghanistan, a rocket has slammed into a neighborhood near the Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul, killing a child. But no group claimed responsibility for the attack yet. This comes as the U.S. continues with its evacuation mission from Afghanistan as the August 31st deadline looms. Kim Hyo-san with the details.
With a matter of hours left until the deadline for Americans' complete withdrawal from Afghanistan, a rocket on Sunday struck a neighborhood just northwest of Kabul airport. Afghan police say the rocket hit a house, killing a child. Video obtained by the Associated Press shows smoke rising from a building located around a kilometer from the airport. No group immediately claimed responsibility for the attack. Against this backdrop, the U.S. military says it has carried out an airstrike against an ISIS-K vehicle in Kabul on Sunday, adding the move was in self-defense as the vehicle laden with explosives posed, quote, an imminent threat. A Central Command spokesman explained the second such strike against a militant group since last Thursday's deadly attack against U.S. forces and Afghan civilians was conducted with a drone to eliminate the threat. He also expressed confidence that the target was successfully hit, stressing the U.S. will remain vigilant for potential threats going forward. Following the strike, CNN confirmed that 9 members of one family, including 6 children, were killed in this drone strike. Citing a U.S. government official, the Washington Post says civilian casualties may have resulted from a secondary explosion as the vehicle was filled with explosives. Just a day after the deadly blast outside Kabul airport, the U.S. conducted an airstrike which killed 2 high-profile ISIS-K members, according to the Pentagon. The strikes come as President Biden vowed to retaliate against those behind the last week's attack, saying the U.S. will not forgive and not forget. Kim Hyo-san, Arirang News.
U.S. President Joe Biden has honored 13 U.S. service members killed in last Thursday's terror attack in Kabul, attending the return of their remains. He watched the unloading of the flag-draped caskets at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware on Sunday, standing with his hand over his heart and with his eyes closed at times. He was joined by the chiefs of the 4 military service branches, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin and Secretary of State Antony Blinken. We now turn to the COVID-19 situation. Monday marks the halfway point of the heightened social distancing measures. But with only slight signs of decline in the number of cases, health authorities are on alert. For more on this, we have our Kim Do-yeon standing by for us at the News Center. Do-yeon, Monday's numbers are usually the lowest due to the slow testing over the weekend.
Morgan, that's right. South Korea's daily COVID-19 caseload for Monday was 1,487, of which 61 were locally transmitted. This is a dip of 132 cases from a day before, but as you mentioned, the dip had been expected as slow testing is reflected in Monday's numbers. But in a week-to-week comparison, it's an increase from last week's Monday number by 70. Before today, there was a slow but steady decline. Last week saw an average of 1,745 cases per day, a decline of 33 cases a day compared to the week before, despite the more transmissible Delta variant now accounting for 90% of all cases in the country. In addition, the country has had heightened social distancing rules imposed for the past week, the effects of which are yet to show with this jump of cases compared to last Monday.
The country has another major holiday coming up in less than a month. During previous holidays, health authorities have imposed stricter measures. Any news on that yet?
Morgan, health authorities said that the special virus prevention measures for Chuseok holidays in late September will be released on Friday. First, let's take a listen to what they had to say.
The situation is that spread is not slowing down and has been continued at high numbers. But as the vaccination rate is going up, we're gathering opinions on whether visiting families should be allowed during the holidays.
As you mentioned, for every major holiday, there have been stricter measures for a set period of time to minimize the movement among citizens. The Chuseok holiday has a total of 5 days off, including the weekend, and culturally, many citizens travel across the nation to visit family members. That being said, guidelines on measures usually come before KTX sales open, but this time around, it'll have to come after ticket sales. The authorities are still trying to understand the trend as the number hasn't gone down significantly, even with the highest measures imposed around the country. Friday will also be the day when they release news on social distancing, as current measures are due to expire on the 5th. Fully vaccinated individuals coming into South Korea will now have to take a PCR test within 1 day of arrival starting Monday to avoid mandatory 2-week quarantine. The rule adds a further PCR test to current measures that requires tests to be taken both prior to departure and 6 to 7 days after arrival. In addition, before the changes on Monday, those who left Korea before being considered fully vaccinated or within 2 weeks of their second or final dose faced a 2-week quarantine upon return. Now, even if a person departs within the 2 weeks of their final dose, as long as 2 weeks have passed when coming back to South Korea, they will be exempt from quarantine. The changes have been made to make things more convenient for fully vaccinated travelers while still checking thoroughly for any possible breakthrough cases. Contaminants were found in Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines at a vaccination center in Japan's Okinawa prefecture, halting inoculations at the large-scale inoculation hub. According to local reports, black substances were spotted in syringes and a vial, while pink substances were found in a different syringe filled with the vaccine on Sunday. This is not the first report of its kind in Japan, and the latest contaminated products lot number is not same as ones already suspended by the Japanese government. South Korean health authorities said they're in process of learning the lot number of the Okinawa vaccines. Vaccines from lot numbers previously suspended by the Japanese government were not found in South Korea.
In sports, Tottenham Hotspur forward Heung-min celebrated his 200th EPL appearance in the best possible way, scoring his team's winning goal against Watford. Playing at home on Sunday in North London, Son's 42nd minute strike gave Spurs the 1-0 victory and sent them to the top of the EPL table after 3 games played. It was also the South Koreans' second goal of the EPL season. With 3 wins out of 3, Tottenham is off to the perfect start, and they're also the only team with 9 points. Some great news for South Korea. South Korea's Choi Kwang-gun won a bronze medal in a judo match for the men's over 100 kilograms at the Tokyo Paralympics on Sunday. And Choi ranked number 4 in the world, beat Cuba's Jordani Fernandez Sastre, who's ranked 4 places below him. He's a visually impaired athlete who competes in the B2 class, meaning his visual acuity is between total blindness and low vision. Now, South Korea has a total of 9 medals from the Tokyo Paralympics, 2 of which were from judo. Apart from Choi, Lee Jung-min also took home bronze in the men's 81 kilograms the day before. Global interest in virtual space, known as the Metaverse, is booming. In not too distant future, it's expected that interactions in the Metaverse will become more and more common. And for the first time among broadcast networks, Arirang TV, the channel you're watching now, has created its own map in the Metaverse. Our Heung-min reports.
Viewers around the world used to visit the Arirang Town building in Seoul to see their favorite K-pop stars or to watch television programs in person. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, all that has changed and offline events have been shelved. Now though, people can visit Arirang Town, a full-scale virtual replica of Arirang TV on Jepeto, a metaverse platform built by Korean internet company Naver. It is the first of its kind by a broadcast network, as it allows visitors to tour some of Arirang TV's programs, like Simply K-pop Contour, which hosts K-pop concerts. This is After School Club, a talk show with K-pop star guests. And of course, this is News Center, where Arirang reporters share up-to-date news to the world. Visitors to Arirang town can take selfies in front of a photo wall and see some behind-the-scenes spots like the news department's meeting room and the dressing rooms where anchors and reporters get ready to go on air.
오늘 아리랑 타운 처음 오셨는데 어떠세요, 보니까?
계속 방송국 와보는 게 소원이었는데 이제 소원풀이 하는 것 같아요. 제가 좋아하는 K-pop 스타도 만나고 같이 셀카도 찍고 싶어요.
Arirang TV is expanding its reach in the virtual world through IFLand, another Metaverse platform by Korea's wireless carrier SK Telecom. Through IFLand, Arirang plans on broadcasting simply K-pop performances online and inviting viewers around the world to fan meetings.
I'm hoping to better connect our viewers with our contents. We are planning to use this Metaverse world as a playground with our viewers and with our MCs and with our performers.
Arirang TV's Metaverse offers viewers a broadcasting experience they can't get elsewhere. No matter where you are in the world, Arirang TV is ready to welcome you 24/7. 서은경, Arirang News.
The COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting boom in online shopping has caused a surge in cardboard waste. As South Korea works to become more eco-friendly, a local company has developed a new chemical-free way to recycle cardboard. Our Cho Sang-min reports.
A company in South Korea has developed a more eco-friendly way to recycle cardboard materials. Contrary to the conventional way of recycling cardboard, this new method does not require any chemicals which are harmful to the environment. This means no chemical waste or any additional expensive energy. The key idea involves cutting the used cardboard according to the fold lines and reattaching new cardboard pieces onto them.
Boxes have tape marks because they are reattached to other boxes. Eco-friendly marks are stamped on them as well. Only clean boxes are recycled and they are all disinfected.
During the recycling process, a special pad is inserted in between the edges of the cut pieces. Developers say the pads are made with special materials that hold the cardboard pieces together.
This is our pad. Starch paste is applied on each side. They automatically stick to anything they touch.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to prolong, South Korea is seeing a constant uptick in cardboard usage driven by an increase in home shopping and deliveries. Industry insiders are optimistic that this new method will contribute to South Korea becoming a leader in eco-friendly recycling in the future. Jo Sung-min, Arirang News.
Let's take a look at what's going on in the world now. We start things off in the U.S., where Hurricane Ida made landfall in Louisiana on Sunday. The hurricane is reported to be a Category 4 storm, one of the most powerful to ever hit the country. The powerful weather system with winds of 230 kilometers per hour slammed the southern coast on the same date Hurricane Katrina ravaged Louisiana and Mississippi 16 years earlier. Officials say Ida's swift intensification from a few thunderstorms to a massive hurricane in just a few days left no time to organize mandatory evacuation for those in New Orleans. Instead, the city's mayor warned those in the city to stay indoors.
My message to the community at this time, all of our residents, even visitors who are here, this is the time to stay inside. Do not venture out. No sightseeing. This is very serious. We need you to stay in from this point forward all morning, all afternoon, all evening.
Hurricane Ida is a stark reminder of Hurricane Katrina, which resulted in 1,800 deaths, causing levee breaches and catastrophic flooding in New Orleans, while demolishing oceanfront homes in Mississippi. However, officials in New Orleans say the city is better prepared for Ida, as the levee system has been massively overhauled since the deadly storm in 2005. Meteorologists still warn that Ida will be stronger than Katrina, as residents in the area brace for the worst. Over to the Middle East, where the Israeli military confirmed its aircraft struck Hamas site in Gaza in response to incendiary balloons being launched from Palestine. The army said Sunday that hundreds of Palestinians gathered along the separation barrier between Israel and the Gaza Strip Saturday night, hurling explosives. It added that troops responded using riot dispersal means. Palestinians have been protesting at the separation barrier, aimed at pressing Israel to ease restrictions in the isolated territory. The protests on Saturday were met by the Israeli army firing live rounds, tear gas, and stun grenades, with the health ministry in Gaza reporting that 11 Palestinians had been hurt in the clashes. And finally to Cuba, where the communist nation will officially recognize and regulate cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. According to Resolution 215, which was published on Thursday, the central bank will set new rules for how to deal with digital currencies. While the government cited socio-economic interests as the reason behind the latest move, experts say the country's blocked access to the world economy, as well as weak local currency, have factored into the appeal of cryptocurrency. They added that Cuba's decision to join El Salvador in embracing digital currency could help the country to circumvent U.S. sanctions placed on the regime. 이 승재, Arirang News.
Good morning. A stubborn weather pattern remains today with Jeollado and Gyeongsang-Namdo provinces to see 5 to 30 millimeters of rainfall. Meanwhile, Jeju Island will be seeing passing showers during the day. The rest of the country will be under cloudy to partly sunny skies. And daily highs will be a couple of degrees higher than yesterday, hovering in the upper 20s in most parts of the country. Seoul going up to 28 degrees, Jeju going up to 30 degrees Celsius, which is about 4 degrees lower than yesterday because parts of Jeju and Gyeongsang-Namdo province are under heat wave advisories. And rain just will not stay away. It's going to rain nationwide from tomorrow into Thursday. And southern regions will be seeing showers into Friday. The weather agency is forecasting central regions to receive heavier showers from Tuesday into Wednesday. In fact, Chungcheongdo provinces could see more than 120 millimeters of torrential showers in a single day. That's Korea for you, and here's a look at the weather conditions around the world.
That will do it for us at this hour on Arirang News. We'll be back at noon Korea time, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching and goodbye.